Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the book that he's read this week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I've read this week is this one. It's called The Dangerous Stranger by author Simon Mason. Helpfully tells us on the front, it's a D.I. Ryan Wilkins mystery. Was published on the 12th of March 2026 by River Run here in the UK, and it's the fifth book in the D.I. Ryan Wilkins series. I reviewed books 2, 3 and 4 on the channel, so have a look at those previous reviews if you wish. I enjoyed the previous books, and it's another tale of the two Wilkins boys. No relation. We have D.I. Ray Wilkins, who was Oxford educated, quite a bit of a posh boy really, dresses well, dresses in designer clothes, and is seen as a rising star in the police firmament, if you will. The other Wilkins, slightly different. He's a trailer park boy. Ryan Wilkins can generally be found in a shell suit or a tracksuit, looking a bit scruffy and driving a beat-up old Peugeot. But in their previous adventures, they've managed to get the job done, usually with a bit of chaos thrown in and usually with a bit of action that's not necessarily by the book. So this is another adventure for the two Wilkins boys. The stories are based in the city of Oxford in the UK, which is a well-known city of scholars, if you will. It's a city of culture, of great architecture, of great learning. It's also got a three-sided football ground, but less said about that, the better. Okay, so what's this story about? Well, the story kicks off. It's a quiet Oxford evening. It's a warm and pleasant evening, and outside a hotel called the Go Hotel, which is being used by asylum seekers, there's a bit of a protest going on, and it's getting a bit out of hand. That protest takes a very nasty turn when a boy at the back of the hotel, which they assume is an asylum seeker, is burnt alive. Clearly, is this us? This causes national consternation, because this isn't who we are. What on earth is going on here? Is this a right-wing extremist that's done it? Is it somebody who's just been carried away by the protest? And the chief constable is on it like a car bonnet. And he's talking to the superintendent, who is Wilkins' boss, and says, right, we need to get on this immediately. We need to find out who the boy was and who's committed this murder. And, there's press everywhere, there's media everywhere. This needs to be done and done quickly. The superintendent tells them that the two people that's been assigned to the case are the Wilkins boys. And he's not particularly happy about that, because whilst, as the super points out, they've got a good track record of solving crimes, there's also a general degree of chaos that goes with it. And he says to the superintendent, do they even get on? And the superintendent replies, well, somehow that doesn't seem necessary. So that's the start of the investigation. So the Wilkins boys get on the case using some ordinary methods and some slightly not quite ordinary methods. And they soon find that the person that's been burnt alive, the person that's been murdered, A, wasn't an asylum seeker, and B, wasn't staying at the hotel. So all of a sudden, this case goes from being a right-wing conspiracy, asylum, immigration matter to a criminal matter, where they realise they're up against somebody that is involved in a criminal conspiracy. And they very soon find themselves up against a criminal who's very devious and very clever. And thus the tale unfolds. So it goes from being there's a problem with an asylum seeker that's been murdered. It turns out that it wasn't an asylum seeker. So it's on the top level, it's very good police procedural, because we see the two Wilkins boys using their different skills, trying to find out what's going on here and tracking down this criminal. And then we get a climax at the end of the book when that chase comes to a climax, as I said before. So really good police procedural. But what sets us apart, I guess, is the two different Wilkinses. We have Ray Wilkins, who's struggling a bit with his career because he's got two one-year-old twins at home. He's getting home and his wife said, there you go, you're looking after him tonight. And he's wondering what life is all about. His father's also, is mustard keen on him advancing in the police, and his father's also got some health concerns, which is concerning Ray. Ryan, on the other hand, is worried about little Ry, his 4.5-year-old son, who's now going to big school, whose major project is building a castle. Ryan's helping him with that. So we see their lives outside of their police work, and we also see the way they interact with each other. So that, in effect, makes this a good story. So it's another adventure for the Wilkins boys. Some great humour in it, as well as being a thriller. That's a top-level police procedural, but a very enjoyable read. 374 pages. I thoroughly recommend it. As I said, I reviewed the books 2, 3 and 4 on the series. And I said this is the 5th on the channel, so have a look at that if you wish. I think that's it for this week's brief book review. Again, another enjoyable read. 10/10 till we do it again. Thanks for watching.